And it's as if it's singing about love, drink, and be merry. The translator in English was Edward Fitzgerald, and Kritzik gives you his translation here. Let's just read you a few quatrains from his. Rubaiyat means 4 lines. We would call it in English a quatrain. 4 lines. Quatrain. Come fill the cup, and in the fire spring your winter garment of repentance fling. He rhymes it. The bird of time has but a little way to flutter, and the bird is on the wing. Ah, you see, eat, drink, and be merry. Give this to your boyfriend or girlfriend if you want to encourage them to loosen up a bit. That's what people used to do in the 19th century. Of course, people don't need encouragement to loosen up now. What they need is an encouragement to tighten up a bit. So I don't think people give Omar Khayyam to their girlfriend and boyfriend anymore. But back in the 19th century, they did. Omar Khayyam was big stuff to give to your girlfriend or boyfriend to get them into the swing of things. Let's see if I get another line here. You can read these. For some we love, the loveliest and the best, that from the vintage rolling time hath pressed, have drunk their cup a round or two before, and one more by one crept silently to rest. This is like Old Lang Syne. And drink a cup of kindness, dear, for Old Lang Syne. That's what this one is here, and it may or may not be what, no, that's the thing about mystics. You never know what they're really trying to say. Are they fooling you or not? The moving finger writes, and having written moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. Ah, love, could you and I with him conspire to grasp this sorry scheme of things entire, would we not shatter it to bits, and when remold it near to the heart's desire? Well, you know, this was just great stuff back in the 19th century, early 20th century. That's Kritzik's translation. And now, that's Edward Fitzgerald through Kritzik. Now, that's how Omar Khayyam was seen for people who didn't know anything about Sufism back then. Now, if you move over to, this translation is by in Arbery on page 290. This translation, God, he's got the whole thing. From Omar Khayyam, a new version, got 40 verses. And I'm not sure who did it. It may have been Robert Graves. But anyway, maybe Arbor did it himself. Anyway, it's totally unrecognizable. Can you recognize it? Can you see it? I mean, I don't see any of the verses we just read in here. Thou, Lord, did number 3, didst mingle in your skill the dust and water of my clay, thy fingers spun for my array, woolen fine linen as thy will. Since thou was written long ago, whatever good I may have sought, whatever will through me is wrought, what, Lord, remains for me to do? I don't know what it's even saying. 5, though never face more radiant were, nor tresses, there's the face, the hair, the cheeks, that we'll get in Hafiz's poetry momentarily. Lovelier than mine, my cheeks the tulips glow outshine, my statue slender as a fir, 'tis unclear for what sublime and purposeful end, so cunningly artist returning arrayed me in the bower of time. Well, this is maybe a more precise translation, but it's certainly not as much fun as the other, is it? Because it's totally incomprehensible. I have no idea what's being said here. Look at 7. Give not that precious heart of thine, save to the loved one's locks to bind, more hair imagery. Scatter not life upon the wind, nor live one moment without wine. Okay, that's the first sort of live, eat, and drink and be merry, for tomorrow you die line. 10. I never sipped, as I recall, the limpid wine of glad relief without the hand of sudden grief poured me its cup of bitter gall. Well, I don't know what's happening in that one. Anyway, we have wine, drinking wine. Look at 22. Wine is a ruby liquefied, quarried within the hollow bowl, the cups of body and its soul, the liquor's coruscating tide, yon gleaming glass of crystal clear, nor laughing with the crimson wine, enshrouds the lifeblood of the vine, and all is... Well, something more is going on beneath the surface here, because we know that wine is forbidden in Islam, and these people are functioning in the Islamic world, and they're using these symbols for something more than just drinking. That's quite obvious. So, I don't know what's going on, but all I can tell you is that this translation, Arbery, is totally incomprehensible. You say, well, why'd you give it to us? Well, I just want to show you the difference. There are other ones that are even more mystical. Look at 38. I know not why the hand of joy was to create in order due, the temperance exact and true, is pleased to sap them and destroy. If they If they were well as with his aim, why did he shout at them again? And if they were not well, why then, since he designed them, who's to find? I don't know what that translation is saying. And I can't follow it. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to feel. So anyway, that's Omar Khayyam that you can look at. I don't know what you want to make of it. Let me go back here now, finally, to the who is the national poet of Persia, Hafiz. I don't know how many Persians we have in the room here, but if you are Persian, well, then you know Hafiz, because Hafiz is the national poet of Persia. We have him on page 267. He's another, a century later, or a little later than Omar Khayyam. He dies in 1390. If you've there's Persian television channels and things. I don't know if you've seen them on the upper levels of cable television, but if you tune into any of those channels, you'll hear Hafiz being recited on those channels almost like, regularly. And you'll hear someone reciting this elegant Persian, and it's always Hafiz. And he is actually the greatest, most famous poet in Persia and Iran today. And the question once again is this real drinking and real carousing, or is it symbolic carousing and images for ecstasy? I think it's always symbolic. I am not sure that it was real. Okay, the first little bit on 267 gives way to this little bit at the top of 268. But with her snare she does not net the wise bird, for I know the black eyes, a slender body, and a moon face do not show the color of friendship. When you sit by your love, measuring wine, there's the theme, love and wine. It's in Rumi, it's in Khayyam, it's in Hafiz. It has to have a greater meaning than just what they're talking about. Remember the lovers who measure the winds, except this, I can speak of no flaw in your beauty, fidelity, and honesty are not the shape of your face, eyes, love, wine. These are repeated over and over again. Is it no wonder if in the sky, when the words of Hafiz, the music of Venus brings the Messiah dancing? Now, Hafiz is not writing to his friend Shamsuddin. He actually addresses himself in the poem and refers to himself. When you hear the words of Hafiz, it's like hearing the music of the Messiah dancing. And here's some of that symbolic material. I told you there's a whole lexicon. The hair,